Hey everyone, I am here with my friend Kyle Draper. If you don't know Kyle, you are in for a treat today. Kyle, thank you for carving time out of your schedule. I know you're super busy.
Yes, Jennifer, it is an honor every time I get to share the screen with you.
I love it. I feel exactly the same way about you. So, we are going to jump in. We are talking about video marketing. And before
Yes.
we go too far down this path, tell me how you kind of happened into the concept of video marketing because I love
Yeah.
your origin story.
So I was a pastor for a long time and I stepped down from our church. I then moved to a city where I knew no one and I started in roofing of all things. And about that time, Facebook Live came out. And because I spoke for 10 years as a pastor, I thought, gosh, I think I could have an advantage like being in front of the camera, even though my content wasn't great because it was about roofing. But I was I was just the roofer that was going live from the rooftops of houses and just doing anything I could to just be top of mind to people. And I didn't even know to say that phrase, but that's ultimately what happened. And long story short, like the first hailstorm came through Oklahoma where we were living, and in less than 24 hours, I had 100 inbound calls and texts
Whoa.
and emails of people saying, so and so said you're the only roofer we can trust. We saw your video on Facebook. And I thought, holy cow, I think I'm onto something. And so then as I grew different businesses and got into different industries, the one thing that followed me everywhere was just the influence it gives you to be in front of people.
All right, so let's unpack that a little bit. From the
Yeah.
time that you kind of did your first live, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what orientation to hold the phone, like all the things, to that hailstorm, how long had you been pretty consistently going live, and how often did you do it? How many times a week?
It it was probably 8 to 9 months
Okay.
of just constantly my wife literally going, "How many people saw that video? 4? Why are you doing this? Like, how is this gonna make us money?" And I had to go, "Honey, I don't know if it's gonna make us money. I think it will, but I need you to trust me." And so it was about 8 to 9 months of that conversation back and forth. And I was probably back then, I was probably going live like once a week.
Okay.
So it wasn't crazy. And now, I mean, I'm on video every single day in some capacity, but back then it was different times. There were less people competing in that space, and so you could get away with doing it less. But that's
So
about what it was.
okay, so roofing, not the most exciting topic in the world,
No.
pretty commoditized, which is part
Yeah.
of why I wanted to bring you to my people because sometimes it doesn't feel like IT is super exciting, and
Yeah.
the my clients are at one level, but they're talking to their prospects who are at a completely different level, and
Right.
translating it down and making it fun can be hard. So, what in the world did you talk about when it comes to roofs that you had something to talk about every week?
I think my answer is nothing. I didn't have anything to talk about. Like there's not, it's roofing, right? Like there's nothing cool. It's not sexy. Nobody lays in bed and goes, I wonder how our shingles are doing. I wish I had a video of what they looked like. Like that's never been a thought in anyone's head ever.
Nope.
And so I mean, it was such bad content, but I didn't look like a roofer. And so I had that in my favor. I was wearing skinny jeans and Tom's shoes on roofs of houses,
Because you were
and
a former pastor,
because
and that's what all
I'm
former
still trying
pastors
to be a
wear.
cool youth pastor, right?
Yep.
Like that's still my wannabe vibe, even now at 41 years old. And so I think more than anything, it wasn't the content; it was just me, the human. And the moment you thought you could forget me, boop, there I was, like back in your feed on another roof, talking
Love it.
about something random. And like I'm not even sure that I even knew what I was talking about. Like I didn't know the names of shingles, but I was making things up because you didn't know any different.
Right.
And so, when you look at your industry, it's such a behind the scenes industry, but then there's such a high trust that has to take place for someone to say yes to you. I think there's so much stickiness
Yeah.
to being able to see like all of your people. Y'all are the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
we
I
know
love it.
you exist, but there's also a part of us that's like, is he a real person? Because I get an email, and we've exchanged a text message, but like I'm not even sure that if we passed each other in the mall, that we'd even know that that was who I've been talking to for 2 years.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I really love the power of that for an industry that is typically always behind camera, so to speak.
Yeah, and not, off camera. All right, so if you're just joining us live, I'm talking to Kyle Draper. He is an amazing marketer, an amazing human. He's coming to my event in May. If you don't have your ticket, grab it. The URL is on the screen. If you're driving, don't look at your screen. It's mspsalesrevolution.com/ultimate, because it is the ultimate IT growth conference. We're going to be in Dallas this year, and you're talking to people about marketing themselves with video.
Yeah.
Video is scary. Video is intimidating. So
Yeah.
let me throw a couple of
Okay.
video objections at you, because I know these are the things that my people are going to be thinking. And I want to get your opinion because you've been doing video for a long time. So let's go with the first one. Like, I don't like the way I look. I don't like
Yeah.
my face. I have a pimple. I have a mole. My face is too round, too skinny, too fat, too whatever. I don't like the way I look. And now you're asking me to go on video. Help.
Me too. Right? Like, me too. I've never watched one of my videos back and thought, wow, your wife is so lucky. What a specimen of a man she chose to marry. Like, I've never thought that, Jennifer. I watch my videos back and I get fatter every replay, right? It's like another chin shows up underneath my face. And so I think that's completely normal. We all feel that way. The most beautiful friends that I have tend to be the most insecure friends that I have. And so we love to use that as an excuse, but I don't think it really has any weight bearing on the issue. And because the reality is, if I'd asked any of your people, hey, I'm going to be in your city, let's go grab coffee, they're not going to say, ugh, you picked a wrong day, bro. I got a big old shiny one right on the tip of my nose with a big old whitehead on it. And so I'm going to have to pass today. You're coming to coffee with pimple in tow. Like, you're not going to worry about it. And so if we just realize, like, we're willing to do all of this in person, but we make video allow it to seem weird when it's not different. When I do a video, 94% of the people that watch that video are the same people that I would go to coffee with.
And you mentioned it's almost it is a trust builder. And so what better way to build trust? Like, most people don't have like this love relationship with the sexy supermodel, right? Like, so if you do show up with your hair crazy, or, I don't know, maybe even a little stain on your t-shirt from this morning where the cat blew up, or like whatever, you're going to show up as approachable and a real human.
100%. And think about this. So I'm speaking tonight at an event here in Dallas Fort Worth. And so I was pulling some data for it. And so I saw this morning, 93% of people believe that self-confidence is critical to professional success.
Okay.
And so imagine there is a data breach, like something bad happens for one of your clients. And for you to be able to jump on video and go, Steve, we're on it. We are taking care of it. We will have this fixed in the next 30 minutes. There's so much more power in sending that video to somebody and they see the confidence in your face, as opposed to if you're like, we're not sure, we're doing our best, but we're trying to figure it out. It's unbelievable the confidence we can
even like a 2-line email. Hey, Steve, we're on it. As opposed to a video. Hey, Steve, we're on it. We know, I'm sure you're uneasy. We got you covered.
Yeah.
That's going to communicate a whole lot more confidence.
And so a big thing that I'm going to talk about at your event is, it doesn't have to be public facing social media video. It should be video in your processes, video is a part of your system
Nice.
so that you're just breeding confidence in people because they see you all the time. And when I can get people to commit to those more like one-to-one style videos, it alleviates a lot of the fear, because most of our fear comes from the fear of judgment, the fear of saying something wrong and putting our foot in our mouth on the internet for all to see. And so if we can remove that, then it helps us kind of navigate these waters a lot faster.
It's also great from a prospecting and a sales perspective. So I use it sometimes if I've tried everything I can to get a hold of, I don't know, like someone who's coming to your event and going to be speaking, and I can't seem to get what I need. I'll
Yeah.
shoot a quick video, like go into
Yep.
Facebook Messenger, hit the video and just go, hey, sent you a couple emails. I'm sure you've been busy, but here's what I need from you.
Pretty
Can you
sure you
get
did
that
that
to
to
me by
me.
next week?
So.
I did do that to you. I did, but it worked. And the other thing is I knew that video was your language. So I'm like, let me stop sending him emails. He's never sent me an email in his life other than like some automated emails, but you video me. So I'm like, I'm going to meet you where you're at. There's some sales foo going on there. So, okay. One more objection that I want to give you. Everything's already been said. Like I don't want to just repeat the same stuff over and over again, or my competitors have said that, or my prospects and clients are going to get tired of hearing about me. How do you answer that objection? The everything's already been said concept.
Two ways. One of my favorite quotes on the planet is, everything that needs to be said has already been said, but since no one was listening, everything must be said again.
Nice.
And so, and even 2,000 years ago, right? The Bible, before the internet, before social media, before influencers, the Bible said there's nothing new under the sun.
Yes.
So there are no original ideas anymore, in my opinion, but there's original people. And so you and I could say the same thing and it's going to be responded to differently because you and I are different. And so what the tweak that I love to this struggle is, yes, you're right. It's already been said, but has it been said by you? Because your people may not have heard it from them.
Oh, I love
it. And even
it.
if they have, your people are your people, their people are their people.
Yes.
And so there's people that could watch me on video and go, I could take or leave that guy. And then they watch you and they're like, I love her. She's so great. Her energy's awesome. That doesn't mean you're amazing and I'm the worst.
Nope.
That just means that there's people that are for you, and then there's going to be people that are for me. And the more we speak, the faster we find those people. And then the other part of this, Jennifer, is like, we assume once we say it, everyone knows. But right before you and I jumped on here, I was changing a dirty diaper. And then as soon as we finish, then I got 5 more meetings today before I go drive to Dallas and go speak tonight. And so even though I heard somebody say something, an hour later, I forgot about it. And if I don't see them again a few days from now, and a few months from now, I may never take action because it just never stays top of mind long enough for me to. And so from a content perspective, most people could cycle through a lot of their content every 60 to 90 days. And nobody would go, wait a second, were you wearing that red shirt in that video on February 2nd? Nobody's going to
never know. You'll never know.
So we just have to understand that, like, all we need to do is just keep going forward, and it's always going to land well with somebody.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness, so much gold. I'm going to go back and watch this for myself because I still have some of these things with video. I was talking to my branding coach a couple of weeks ago and she's like, you got to stop asking how. How do I go live? How do I hold my phone? How do I access the right app? She's like, just start doing it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And she was talking about video. Of course, I thought about you because you're my go-to when I think about video and all things related to content and content marketing. And you are hyper consistent. How often do you do a video? Is it daily at this point?
Well, it is. So it is typically daily, but I do cheat because I take long form content, rip it up into multiple pieces of content. So even on days that I don't really want to show up in front of the camera, I still have content to go pull from my bag.
Nice.
And I can share it. so that it looks like to you, wow, look at how consistent Kyle is, but Kyle's eating a bag of potato chips, like not pushing the record button.
I
So
love it.
there's plenty of ways to show up consistently. But then even then, like I've already sent multiple videos today, one-on-one to people. So my muscle 4 video is still working, still being stretched. It just doesn't always have to be publicly seen.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, I am going to see you in about a month in Dallas.
I
That's
can't
like
wait.
home court advantage for you. So
That's right.
super fun. Guys, if you don't have your ticket yet, go out to mspsalesrevolution.com/ultimate. Get your ticket to the Ultimate IT Growth Conference, and you can meet Kyle. You can see me. All kinds of great content about marketing your IT company, leveraging AI, content creation, how these 7-figure firms think and function, how their meeting cadence is, all of the things to help you operate, market, and sell and execute your way to a larger company. Kyle, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in about a month.
Yes. Bye, everybody.